What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? This is Twin Flames Unite, and we are at it again. And if y'all don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What up?
What's up, family?
Just trying to adjust this light a little bit.
Yeah,
Trying to.
some light. There you go. That's it. Oh,
that should be.
Hold on. Went out.
No, that should be good.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Well,
it goes out and comes back in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not it. That's not it. There you go.
All right. Cool beans. And we actually just gonna get this up on the tablet so that we can see the comments, because we had to kind of jury rig things right now just because of the situation we're in.
Yes, we're not at home, as you guys know. We're in Orlando, in this beautiful resort. So we don't have a computer. We don't have a lot of our stuff.
We're just winging it.
We're just kind of winging it right now, guys. But it's okay. Cheers. Look, see, I got some Josh wine right here.
Josh wine.
Josh. Our best friend is Josh, and our favorite wine is Josh.
Oh, boy.
So we ride in alignment.
Yeah, so we're just having a little bit too much fun this evening. But so with that being said, we're not exactly sure how long this video is going to be, but last night we
had some revelations, just to put it in a nutshell.
Yeah, just to put things into perspective. Yeah, we had a revelation that wasn't expecting, but it was definitely needed in order to correct some things. And this video really has a lot to do when it comes to the divine masculine. Okay. And hopefully with the information that's going to be given this evening, it's going to give you a little bit more understanding as far as what's going on with your DM. Mm-hmm. So if you know of anybody else who is having trouble with their DM right now, mm-hmm. definitely share this video, share this live, so that you all can get on the same page and help each other out with
help
this.
a brother out, help a brother out.
I'm gonna let you look at the
there you go.
Let you look at the comments on there.
And I am on a different level today, guys. Mm-hmm. As you can see, I'm very happy and ecstatic. So let me see what y'all talking about.
Yes. So, okay. So this revelation.
Jocelyn says, can you tell me how to purchase some crystals? Well, it depends on what type of crystals you're looking for. If you're looking for maybe like a necklace or a bracelet or just the loose crystals, mm-hmm. we do have some of those crystals, because I do make jewelry, and this one I made, and it's very comfortable, and I never take it off. This is my protection.
Never take it off.
Never take it off. And I have like the bracelets, again, for protection. Mm-hmm. So it depends on what type of crystal that you're looking for. It depends on what you're wanting to do, because different crystals, they contain different vibrations depending on what you wanting them to help you with, right? Mm-hmm. So it depends what you want to do. She said whichever one I suggest. Well, crystals are beautiful, and they're here to help us. They're like a tool that Mother Earth provides for us humans, mm-hmm. to exist here. So let's say that you're feeling maybe a lack of love for self, right? You're experiencing a vibration that's saying, I don't love myself. You might want to connect with rose quartz, okay? The pink crystals, the rose quartz, they help with the vibration of love, self-love. So you will want to work with those crystals for that particular purpose. If you're wanting to attract abundance into your life, as far as the currency, energy, money, you want to do things like Aventrain. That's good to help with currency. What's the other one? The other amber one that we use a lot.
Yeah, she's looking for the one with the as far as
jobs. Okay. Yep. So, okay, good. So you're getting specific here now. Now, what we'll do is we'll send you an email after the live, because we definitely want to get to the
send us an email.
The divine masculine message that we have. So just as a reminder, send us an email at twinflameunite@gmail.
Got it.
So it's single. It's twinflameunite@gmail. Shoot us an email to remind us about the crystal, and then we can try to help you to find the crystal that would actually help with that abundance that you're seeking.
Yes. Yeah, so definitely email us and we'll be more than happy to
Yes.
dive into the specifics as to which crystal would best benefit for you.
Crystals are amazing.
Yes, they are. We keep them on deck at all
All
times.
the time.
All right. But as far as the divine masculine and what's going on with the divine masculine, right? And this pretty much came about as far as when we were watching Seven Beaumart's video.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the video, but it's his most recent one. It was
Yeah.
a two-part as far as and we shared a clip of the first part on our Instagram when he was talking about how it is time for the divine feminine to wake up,
Mhm.
because if the divine feminine does not wake up, then this plundering and chaos and everything that's going on in the world is going to continue to happen.
Yep.
Now, if you caught that video, you would have also caught where he said that in the beginning, you have to understand that when we're talking about divine feminine, divine masculine, when we're talking about those energies, you have to exclude gender.
Yes.
Because when you exclude the gender, you understand that these energies exist within us.
Yeah. So when we say gender, we mean the body parts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna be grown-ups here.
Yep.
We're gonna exclude the vagina and the penis.
Right.
We're not, when we say the energies, we're referring to the energies, not the body parts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just for understanding
Yes.
purposes.
Yes. Okay. So with understanding that, so that led me down a rabbit hole as far as okay, let me back up just a little bit more, just to give you a little bit more information about this, just so you can understand why there's been a miseducation when it comes to the divine masculine, okay? Because in that video that Seven Beaumart talked about, he showed a picture of when, gosh, I wish we had our computer right now. But anyway, y'all gonna really have to go back and watch this video. There's a part 1 and a part 2. We definitely recommend that you watch it. It's on Understanding on YouTube.
Mhm.
He's one of our sponsored channels that we feature, so he's definitely on the list. Okay, but in this talk, he was talking about how the divine feminine needs to wake up so that this chaos and all of this craziness comes to an end, and how it's really a point that we have mature masculine available to understand that the female energy really can't be contained. But one of the things that was so key was that he talked about Freemasonry. Am I saying that right? Freemasonry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so when you talk about Freemasonry and you look at the Masonic symbol, when you have the square and the compass and you have the G in the middle, okay? And when you know the history of Freemasonry, okay, and you know about King Hiram V, right? See, the thing that got me is that because I was initiated in the Freemasonic Lodge, Prince Hall Masonic Lodge, to be exact.
I ran out of wine for this section.
Okay. And in that, I don't know what's going on with the comments, but you have to check that.
Ran out of wine for this section, y'all. Put your seatbelts on.
So yeah, I'm giving y'all some inside secrets. So yes, I was initiated into the Freemasonic Lodge, Prince Hall Lodge to be exact. Now, I didn't go all the way up to the 32nd or 33rd degree masonry, but I did make it to a Master Mason. Now, in being a Master Mason, there are some things that you have to learn or some things that you have to know. And one of those things is what the G represents on the inside of that square and compass. Now, this is where the miseducation comes in, because in those lodge meetings, right, In those lodge meetings, they were taught, or they taught us that G represented either God or geometry,
Mm.
right? But when you look into the things that were revealed in that video that Seven Ballmar spoke of, is that, okay, to back up just a little bit, y'all got to stick with me because once again, this is some information that has been taught to me as a male growing up, and it pretty much directed the way in which I lived my life, or the way that I perceived the way that a man should be.
Mm.
Okay, so to back up a little bit, if you understand the story of King Hiram Abith when it comes to Freemasonic lodges, right? Um, what they taught us was completely different from what the truth is. Because from what they taught us, it was like as if the people who killed King Hiram Abith were the enemies and they weren't Freemasonic Masons. Okay? Follow with me. Just this goes, you gotta stick with me for a second, okay?
Going down a whole rabbit hole in these streets.
Okay. So, and believe me, this is gonna help you understand the reason why your divine masculine is not on the path that you think he should be on, and and the reason why a lot of the information that he's getting, he's not paying attention to it because it's not in alignment with what he's been taught. Okay. So, when you understand the real truth of what happened, is that the people killed Hiram Abiff to get his information because he wouldn't give them the secret to the universe. We'll just say for the universe, for lack of better words, okay? Just to keep it simple. So the secret that King Hiram Abiff wouldn't give, which is the missing link to what a lot of people think about as far as the junk DNA and things of that nature, the missing link is actually the goddess, okay? And the divine goddess, the divine feminine, is what's missing. And that's the secret, and that's what the G actually stands for. Now, why is that so significant? Because in going through the lodge, there was a part of the initiation where
I know you're about to say this on no live. I just know you're not about to. I ain't got no more wine to drink. You about to say this on no live.
okay, there's a part in the initiation where I had to reveal myself in order to prove that I was a man and not a woman, right?
You know what part of himself he had to reveal.
Okay, we had to reveal that that was a part of the initiation. There's no negotiation on it. You had to whip that bad boy out, okay, to show that you were a male. Now here's the thing.
I'm so immature. Okay.
Here's the thing, right? Because okay, so the Masonics, the Masons are supposed to be the keepers of the secrets, the keepers of what unlocks us to our greatness, right? And from what was told in the lodges, and this is something that's being taught from generation to generation, say what's okay. But yeah, I'm diving into some information that was a revelation for me when it came to the divine masculine. But the reason why this is so significant is that because when you do the research, and there was an image that Seven Balmar shared, and this is something that really clicked to me, okay? In that image that was shared, there was a picture of a lion, and then there was a picture of a lion pulling a woman out of a tomb, okay? And that woman that he pulled out of a tomb, she had what's called the Ankh in her hand, which is the key of life, okay? So it is the duty of a master mason, okay, a master mason, I'm not talking about somebody who's just a 33-degree mason. I'm talking about third degree and up, which is a master mason, is to wake up the divine feminine. But here's the part that was so effed up is that the information that was given out in the lodges were to wake up the men when that's not what's needed to happen. But that's on a physical level, but on a spiritual level, we have to wake up the divine feminine within us.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing that got me is that because there is a certain grip, um, which is a password for a master mason. And if you've been on Google and you downloaded the Masonic Secret Handbook and all this stuff, you know what this grip is. It's called the lion's paw grip. Okay? And that lion's paw grip is one of the grips that was illustrated in this photo that Seven Bomar showed. And that just clicked to me because when I went through the initiation, I was essentially killed and then resurrected out of my sleep. Okay? So instead of using the lion's paw or the lion's grip to wake up a divine feminine, they're using it to wake up the divine masculine. But here's the thing, we can't do a goddamn thing without the divine feminine.
Not a goddamn thing. Not a thing. Not nothing. Nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves what, baby?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Okay. So with that being said, the reason why there's a miseducation of the divine masculine is that because everything that we thought was supposed to be masculine and what was supposed to be feminine is actually flipped. Because we're not perfect. We're always going through our spiritual journey and we're trying to find the truth within us. And I was talking to my baby. I was like, okay, for a moment, I felt like there wasn't a divine feminine within me. And with thinking about the whole twin flame dynamic, I was thinking like, okay, so I got all of the divine feminine in me, and then Leisha has all the divine feminine in her. But not so much the case, So I was searching like, okay, so where is the divine feminine within me? And in having a deep conversation with my baby, she revealed to me how much more I have of divine feminine in me than the divine masculine. It's just that my view on it was switched. So when you have a definition that is not based in truth, then you can't find out what's real, if that makes sense. And I hope I'm not losing any of you all, but
I don't think so, baby. They growing. They coming up. They getting it.
But what I'm saying is that the reason why the divine masculines are so off course, per se, is that because for generations and for eons, we have been told the complete opposite of what's going on.
Yep.
Okay? Because for a lot of the things that I do around the house, and in my mind, I was thinking that it was a masculine thing, but it was actually a feminine thing. Because not only do we need to wake up our divine feminine, okay, that are external, but we also have to wake up the divine feminine that is within.
Everyone has a divine masculine and a divine feminine within each and every one of us. The imbalance comes in when one is just operating off of one energy. That's where the imbalance comes in. We have to activate both stratospheres within our souls, within ourselves. And that's when you become whole as a person. Well, as a soul, pretty much, because the person is the persona, the mask. But when you activate the divine feminine and the divine masculine within self, you become a whole. You feel whole. You feel wholeness.
Yes.
Right? You have a different experience within this life. And so you can tell, like, there are different traits because the divine feminine, that's the creator energy. And we might lose some people here. We already starting to lose people. When you think about a creator, we were we were taught to think about a creator as being a masculine, right? And they look up to the sky for this masculine creator. But when you really think of the universal principles and the universal laws, as above, so below, when you think about creator, like how did everyone get here? How did you get here? You didn't get here through a portal of a man. You came through a portal of a woman. Right, the womb. So you can do, and this is the thing about waking up the divine feminine, right? You could do whatever you want to do. If the divine feminine is asleep, you ain't going any place, and you're gonna go there very fast. You're gonna go no place very fast.
Right. Yeah. Real fast. And so and see that's the thing when it comes to the male ego.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that are just taught that the male has like all of the power. That's what's been taught. I mean, you got all of these words that start with man, like human,
right?
And you got so many other words that
sir, like think about it. When you go to church, right? This is the one that got me. When you go to church, you're gonna listen to the sir, man. That's a double entendre. That's sir and man. That's a lot of masculine right there.
Right.
Sir and man, sermon. That's what you're gonna go listen to, the sermon.
Right.
So it's a lot of divine masculine, and that's where the imbalance comes in.
Right. Yeah, because the thing is that the masculine energy is meant to explore the female's energy, because the female energy is the one that creates. Like if I go and I create this awesome meal and it has flavor just busting out the seams and we got juices coming everywhere, but if there's nobody there to eat the meal, then why the hell make the meal?
Why you make it in the first place?
Okay. And so when we think about this, the male energy is the one that's supposed to enjoy that meal that was prepared by the feminine energy.
Right.
Okay. So,
and again, don't get confused with the body parts.
Right.
This is not to get confused with the body parts. It's the energy that exists within each of us.
Right.
Okay. Divine masculine, divine feminine.
Yeah. And so from the miseducation of the divine masculine, right? So okay, let me break this down. So because I'm gonna try to separate this so it makes it just a little bit easier. Okay, when I say man, I'm talking about like gender, right? But when I'm talking about divine masculine, I'm talking about the other half of the energy that exists within us. Okay, because there's a divine masculine within me, there's a divine feminine within me, and I am also a man. There's a divine masculine within Leisha, there's a divine feminine within Leisha, and she is also a woman, and a beautiful one at that. And so for the men, we have been taught for generations and generations that we hold the power, that we are the ones who created this world. Okay? And it is time to set the story straight. And this is going out to all the guys. I'm talking to myself and every other man included. We did not create a goddamn thing. We didn't create this world. We didn't create this air that we breathe.
Yeah.
The stars that we see. We're just here exploring what our divine feminine created. And it's time for our divine feminine to wake up and understand that we created this shit.
Right.
And it's time to bring balance back.
Bring the balance back. And enjoy yourself. Love yourself. You know, if you see somebody slipping away from self, help them to get back to self, which is the balance of the divine masculine and feminine within their self. Help them to come back, wheel them back into self, so that they can start loving themselves again and exploring what they created, which is something beautiful.
Yes. And let me just check the sound real quick.
Yep,
Oh
sound
wow,
is
it's
good.
coming through
Sound
good.
is
Okay.
good.
But yeah, but and there's one other thing that I wanted to mention. This is something that Seven touched on that video as well. And see, so this is something that we wanted to share because once again, we understand that for some people who watch Seven Balmar, and if you haven't watched them before, that information goes right over your
Right
head.
over your head. You just you need to start out with Ralph
Right.
and
But
work your way up.
but this information is needed, so we're just taking that same information, which is truth, and for anything is definitely my truth. Because when I saw this information and it rang true in my head louder than any bell or any alarm that you can ever imagine, like it was blaring, like this is the truth. So because I've gone through the whole Masonic thing, and I've gone through. Okay.
Somebody say that brother is deep. Yes. Yes, you have to watch his videos in portions.
Yes.
Like you can't just go and watch the whole video and know. It got to do maybe like a good 20 minutes. You know, you pause it, you probably drink some water, you chill out, and then you go back and you watch another 15 minutes, go to the restroom, you go outside, you try to take some breaths, go back. You watch it in the whole portion, you really gonna, he's really deep.
Yeah. But one of the things that he mentioned, which I believe was so key, was that at the end, possession didn't come about until very late in the game. And it's only been very recent that possession is actually something that came about. As far as, because the whole thing with this system is about pirates going around plundering, taking things that are not theirs. Okay. And one of the main things that they wanted to plunder was the divine feminine.
Yes.
Because they knew that the divine feminine controlled everything. And so because they wanted that power, they did everything that they could to take that divine feminine energy.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for centuries now.
Long time. The divine feminine, stay with us now. That's the creator energy. When we talk about creating something, that's the divine feminine. It creates. The masculine energy explores what the divine feminine creates.
Right.
So this is the reason why they switched the whole thing around. That's why the world is upside down.
Yeah, the world is upside down. If you don't know that the map is upside down, I'm so sorry. It's upside down.
Literally upside down.
But one of the things that he talked about was for when these pirates come about and they want to plunder the feminine energy, the divine feminine. Because when you think about it, the whole thing with marriage, it was never about love. Okay, so many people out here rushing to get married and they don't know how in the hell it started. Okay, because marriage was a business transaction.
Go and do the research. Don't listen to us.
Because when you
not listen to us.
Because when you think about it, in order for a king to give away his princess or whatever to another kingdom, that prince from the other kingdom had to give that king a dowry. Okay, that dowry had a price tag on it.
Let's believe it.
Whether it was cattle, whether it was gold, he had to buy her in order to marry her.
And you could pay as much as you weighed and you could stay. Biggie Smalls.
So just know that traditionally marriage was not for love. It was a business transaction.
It was a business transaction. It was a business deal. So don't believe us. Go do your own research. It's right there. You can see it. This is the age of information.
Yeah.
Anything that you ever wanted to know is right there in front of you. You can research it and you can find answers yourself.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, it just transitioned over the years to the point where now it's acceptable when the male goes and asks the father, hey, can I have your daughter's hand in marriage? But he's not going to give you the father's not going to give the blessings if he feels that you're not fit enough to take care of his daughter. So if your credit is shitty, if you don't have money, if you don't have your own house, more than likely he's not going to give you the blessing because you ain't got no money.
Can't do it.
Okay? So once again, this is a business transaction.
Mhm.
And so you have to ask yourself, when you're so hell bent on getting married and finding a mate, ask yourself why.
Mm.
Is it really based out of love? Is it based out of unconditional love?
Mhm.
And that's the other thing that I gotta definitely give a big ups to my baby about.
Oh.
Okay, which is that this is unconditional love. If y'all had any doubts or any questions as to what unconditional love is, what you are seeing right now on the screen is unconditional love. Because for my baby to still be by my side during um times that I was confused as to what or who I really was. Because, because after watching this, it brought about a revelation, and it just had this light bulb that went off. I was like, oh my damn, I done had this like mixed up this whole time.
Oh my days.
Like, oh my days.
Oh my days.
But that just shows the strength and love of this woman, this divine feminine and divine masculine that's sitting right next to me, that is a whole individual who was whole before we got together.
Oh.
That just shows you what true unconditional love is, to be by someone's side and see the to see them, to truly see them, and they not know who they are really.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just
I'm gonna see her.
yeah, you a seer, you a seer.
I'm gonna see her.
Yeah.
That's one of my gifts. I can see.
So yeah, that's what's going on, everybody. When it comes to the divine masculine, they have been lied to believe that they are the ones who have the power. And I'm talking about the divine masculine that's within inside of you as well.
Mhm.
Because there's been so much downplay of the divine feminine energy that it's been seen as weak.
Weak energy, but it's not. It is quite the
Mm-mm.
opposite. Actually,
Yeah.
quite the opposite. This is why you can see. You don't believe me? Go into a Catholic church. If you don't believe me, pay attention. They're wearing gowns.
Mm.
Why are they wearing? Have you ever asked yourself why are these priests wearing gowns? Could it be that they were once priestesses?
Mm. Priestesses.
I don't, do your research.
Yeah.
Don't believe us. Go do your own research and find out why they're wearing gowns. Why do they wear
Mm-hmm.
gowns? What it because everything is symbolic. Everything means something. And I think that's the thing that we really take for granted is that when we see something, we just say, oh, it means nothing.
Mm.
I'm telling you that's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
It's nonsense because the people that run this place,
Mm-hmm.
okay, everything is symbolic and everything has meaning. They don't just do stuff just to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is a meaning and it's a reason why they do it. It's a specific reason why they do it.
Right.
And so if you go back and you research the reason why they're wearing gowns instead of trousers, you'll realize why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you start looking, boy,
It goes deep.
It goes real deep. But this is, once again, if you don't believe that this is a whole twin flame thing, uh, you definitely got to do your research.
Yeah.
Because there's just been a lot of miseducation, a lot of misinformation, a lot of switching and flip flopping that has gone on,
Tons of it.
and it's been mainly done to men.
Mm.
So much flip flopping that has been going on to make them think that we're in charge and we have the power when that's really not the case.
It's really not. It just causes an imbalance.
Yeah, and you know what? This is something that I really should have caught my attention early, because when I was going through my sovereignty and everything, right, as far as checking my lineage to make sure that I'm an indigenous individual, I was told that you have to search your in order to find out that I'm an indigenous person to here in the United States of America, right? I thought that I had to trace the lineage through my father, but someone put me on games like, no, 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 you don't follow the lineage of your father, you follow the lineage of your mother.
Mm. Now that's some deep stuff right there.
So I had to go back and search the lineage of my mother and go back 3 generations of my mother's side to figure out where I'm from.
Hmm. And not to go off topic, but
Mm-hmm.
Marshawn has been asking some really good questions in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
She said, what is the retrograde doing in terms of the twin flames?" That's a very good question, Marshawn, and we touched on it just very briefly in
Mm-hmm.
a previous video. As far as these retrogrades, they're coming in. The energies are pretty high. The energies right now
Mm-hmm.
are super intense. Like I was at the pool outside today while my baby was swimming, and my left ear was about to fall off
Yeah.
because the ringing was so loud. I'm talking about really, really, really loud. And
Mm-hmm.
I was looking around to see, okay, I know I'm not the only one that's hearing this.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out I was the only one that was hearing it. But it was
Yeah.
super loud. And it just felt like something shift. It was a shift. Something shifted. I
Mm-hmm.
told my baby when he got out of the pool, because we weirdos together, which is a beautiful thing. I can share stuff like this with him and be weird together, and it feels awesome.
Right.
And he can relate because he has the same experiences. So we're
Mm-hmm.
not crazy. If we're crazy, we're crazy together, and that's a
Hey,
beautiful
that's all
thing.
good.
Every moldy bread has their moldy cheese.
Yes.
But these energies that are coming in with the retrogrades, we advised in the previous video. This is a time when you're doing the rework.
Yeah.
Anything that means means you got to do it again, or you got to go back,
Yeah.
try it again,
Reevaluate,
reevaluate, rewind. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
retro. Anything with retro means you got to reassess, relax, chill out.
Yeah.
Okay, don't try to do too much. Don't try to over. This is not the time
Mm-hmm.
to do too much. Take it from me.
Pump your brakes.
Take it from me to do too much, queen. I just like to do too much. Take it from me. This is not the time to do too much. This is the time to reevaluate. Really take this time to look back on the previous 6 months, maybe even 1 year, maybe even 2 years, however far you need to go back to do your evaluation. This is how you utilize these energies to serve you. This is how you be the alchemist with these type of energies.
Yes.
Because if you try to beat these energies, okay, you're this is what you're gonna look like if you try to move past these energies. You're gonna be in a current. You know what? Have anyone here ever been in some rough waters, and you're trying to you get caught in the tide, you far out and you get caught in the tide, and you trying to swim to shore, you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yeah.
So you gotta go with the tide. Wherever the tide going, that's where you gotta go until that tide eventually goes someplace, and then now you can swim back to shore because the tide went about its business. Because if you try to go against the tide, it's gonna wear you out and you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna drown. Just being honest, because I'm from the Caribbean and how to swim, and this is just one of the things that you do. If you get caught out in the sea with the tide, don't fight against it. You go with it. Wherever it's going, you go with that bad boy.
Yeah.
It's going to eventually go about its business. And then when it does, then you return back to shore with no resistance.
Right.
That's how you handle these energies that's coming in. Think of it like you're in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how you deal with that. But yeah. So we've gone through a lot on here. Yeah, it's a lot of reflection, a lot of reevaluating that has to be done.
Yeah.
And I can definitely attest that it has made me reevaluate the whole way that I'm seeing life right now.
Yeah. And somebody asked me where in the Caribbean I'm from. I'm from a beautiful island in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's what it's called. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's tiny. It's so tiny you can hardly see that on the map.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
gotta zoom in quite.
You gotta zoom in.
You gotta zoom in a lot of times.
Yeah,
to see.
It's right next to Barbados. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And I'm an island girl. I grew up on an island. I was at the beach a lot. I learned how to swim, snorkel, scuba dive, pick wilks and conchs, and go fishing in the ocean with a fishing gun. And if I'm a fisher person, like I go fishing. But that's what I used to do
Mm-hmm.
before I came up here. So
Yeah.
I'm a little different now.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I was just talking to my baby the other day about how much I have altered myself.
Mm.
Being it's like I'm like a fish out of water, being up here, not by the ocean. So it's
It's all
it's
good.
it's a different lifestyle, that's for sure.
Yes. And so I am actually going to
Put it in the
share.
chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this first video that
Oh, the goddess and the explorer. That's what his video is called. And guys, you want to know something crazy? Remember I told you about the dream that I had? I talked about it in a couple of videos, 3 videos ago, when I talked about my dream. And the
Mhm,
dream that I had a dream within a dream. It was really wild.
mhm,
So I was dreaming that I was dreaming.
hmm,
So on the third layer of the dream, I had my box with me, and the box it said dream on the box, and then it also said explore,
mm,
and
mm.
it says believe in miracles. And when you open the box, it says the same thing on the inside that it says on the outside.
That is.
So I was having a
Mm,
dream within a dream. So when I woke up from the underdream,
mhm,
I was still in a dream. And while I'm in the dream, I'm telling my kid's grandfather about the dream that I was just having and how I found some money in this box. And I'm like, look, I just dreamt I found money in the box, and look, I'm opening up the same box, and look, I'm finding the same money in the box. So, and I'm excited, and he's looking at me like, okay, that's cool. And so it was a few $100 bills in the box, and I was just super excited, like, ooh. But then I also told him, I was like, because now I'm feeling like I'm still dreaming. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. I still feel like how I felt when I was in a dream. So I was like, the place that I was at, it feels like this one. It still feels like a dream. This is what I'm telling him. So at this point, this is when my conscious mind is letting me know that, okay, Alicia, you're still in a dream. You're not awake yet.
mhm,
So then I'm like, okay, and then I still got the box, right? So now I wake up again, and I guess I'm in this world now, and I still have my box. So when I go and I get my box now, I'm looking for the money in the box. Ain't no money in the goddamn box.
Ain't nobody in the
I was so
box.
mad. I'm like, man, this box ain't got no money in it. But it's okay because it had this. It was the same box in those 3 stages of my dream. It was the same
Mhm,
box. Had the same words on it. Dream within a dream, right? That's what it said on the box. Dream and believe in miracles and explore. And it had a compass all over the box, and it had like stamps and a passport and stuff like that. And not too long
hmm.
after that, I saw the video with the goddess,
Yeah,
waking up from the dream.
yeah. So
And
yeah, y'all
so,
definitely wanna.
yeah, take a look at that video. It's pretty deep. I would definitely encourage
Yeah. So I
you to.
just pinned that video. That's part one, and it's definitely a part two.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely take some time out and listen to that video about how the divine feminine needs to wake up in the physical as well as in the spiritual. So remember, we all have a masculine and feminine energy within us. It is our responsibility to learn how to operate through both of those
Mm-hmm.
equally.
Yes, and somebody just said we have something in common. I'm from the Caribbean too, and the Garifuna. Girl, we got more in common than you think. We got more in common. Get it? More in common. I'm me too, Garifuna. Like me too, Caribs. So yeah, we got a lot
Sounds familiar.
we got a lot in common.
Yeah, looks familiar.
So yeah, that's my ancestors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In St. Vincent, look at me going down my ancestry line now. My great grandmother, she was half Carib, half white. That was her.
Mm.
Okay.
No way.
And
No
yeah,
way.
that's my people. And so they were from her people that were Carib, they were from Ovia. And Oya in St. Vincent, that's where all the natives, the Carib Indians from Guatemala, South America, that's where they lived. So that's me. I told y'all already, I'm everything. Y'all think I'm playing when I tell you I'm everything. I'm really literally everything.
Yes, she really is.
So that's my father's side of the family is the Carib and the European, right? And my mother's side of the family, that's African,
Yep.
right? And so we have the Portuguese, the European, and the Caribs, and then my mother's side of the family.
She's from Belize.
Belize, right? That's where they're from, South America. The Caribs, they were originally from South America, Costa Rica, down in that South America and down there. That's where they're from. Mm-hmm. And they migrated to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And then when Christopher Columbus came, I'm trying to be more positive about people, so I'm just gonna say Christopher Columbus. I'm not gonna say anything else after his name. But when Christopher Columbus came to the Caribbean, he did slaughter a lot of my ancestors, and because a lot of them refused to be slaves. Yep. The Caribs were very prideful people because they were warriors. The Caribs were warlike people. They ran the land like they were the boss, so they were not going to be anybody's slaves, hell to the no. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them left and they went back to South America. So because they didn't have any business in being slaves, they actually fought back. Mm-hmm. Okay, to the Spaniards, they fought. They were not going to be nobody's slaves. They were like, oh, hell to the no. You got the wrong one today, not today. Got the wrong one. So yeah, they fought. And they fought hard, but a lot of them, they died, diseases and things of that nature. Yeah. But that's just a little bit of my history. Sorry, I took up the whole live. She said indigenous. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah.
My bad. I gotta change the whole topic. Supposed to be talking about divine masculine, divine feminine. She said she's from Jamaica and the Moors fought back. Yeah, it's a lot of people that history, the way that they tell the stories in the books, they are very they're not right. That's what I'm gonna say. I said it.
It's not right because the story goes. The person who wins the war tells the story,
and that's just the bottom line. Like imagine me and you, we got beef, right? Let's say I got beef with somebody, and I beat them up and I won. I'm telling the story. I'm gonna be like, man, let me tell you about Bonquisha.
And you know what? The best example of that is look at how Trump talked about how he won the election.
Yeah.
I'm talking about twisting what actually happened.
Yeah.
Like talking about nobody ran a better race.
Right.
Everything was top notch.
I do it the best.
And that is not how that shit went down. Okay, yes, you won.
Yeah.
But the way that it happened
was not.
It. So you have to look at history right now that the person who writes the story is the person who wins the war.
Exactly. So they get to tell it with how many lies they want to tell it. Mm-hmm. And think about how much power that has, fast forward generations to generations. Yeah. Now, when you tell a lie, so many times, the different generations, and these generations are coming after the fact, right? Yeah. They don't know any different.
Yep.
Because you have this school's program system that you invented to really shape their mind through the information, and we already know what information means. Yeah. So when when the news go in, right, you form it how you want to because you're the ones that's pouring in the knowledge. Yeah. So if you pour in the knowledge into somebody, you get to shape them how you want to through your information. You're forming them.
And that's a beautiful segue because that actually goes back into the reason why the divine masculines are not doing what they're supposed to do. Because the whole job of the divine masculine is to wake up the divine feminine. That's all we're supposed to do.
Wake them up.
Okay? But because history has been changed so much that pretty much in a nutshell, They said, let them divine feminine sleep. Don't wake them up.
Wake them up.
Because if you wake them up, then our whole thing is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, boo-boo. Right. We can't have control if the divine feminine is awake.
Right. So you have to keep telling his story.
Not her story. His. See, even more.
His. You got to continue to tell his story so that you continue to be a mystery. My story, which is mystery, will remain a mystery to you because you're focused on his story.
Yes. And you need to find her story, which is the divine feminine that has been put to sleep like Snow White. And the evil witch is the divine, those pirates that are out and about
with the hooks
that want to do everything in their power to keep the divine feminine asleep. And I guess my phone is trying to give me a sign that we need to get off because it's about to die.
Saying too much. YouTube don't even really can't stand us right now.
But yeah, so and just keeping it in a nutshell, just to draw it back, okay? Because the whole reason for this live was that because that was a revelation that was revealed to us through some deep conversation, which we had probably about 2 hours. And it just really dawned on us that, we knew that things would turn around and not as they seem. But there's a difference to when we understand and then understand and then overstand.
Bring it, baby.
Okay? At this point, what we discussed last night brought us to an overstanding.
Say that again, baby.
From what we discussed last night, it brought us to an overstanding.
Boom.
Okay? And so now we can see this from a bird's eye view and understanding the reason why everything is just so conflicted and so confused right now is that because it's just so much that has been flipped around and just bald-faced lied about.
They're just lying to your face. They don't even care if it makes sense anymore. They do not care if that stuff makes sense anymore. No. It's just like this. I said what I said and that's it. They walk away. Right. It don't even gotta make sense anymore. And it's really, really sad. So when you understand something, because there's layers to this, there's levels to this,
It's levels.
It's levels. So when you understand something, right, that means that you're under, and pay attention, guys, when you understand something, that means that you're under the spell. Okay? So whatever word, whatever sentence, okay, you're understanding, that means you're under the spell. That means it controls you. Okay? Now, there's the next level when you start waking up. That's what they call this, the waking up. The waking upness. You are now into the inner standing. Okay? So when you're in the inner standing, that's when you're inside of the spell, right? You exploring the spell. You're looking at it. Oh, wow. And then this is when everything goes off and you're like this. Wow. Are you serious? Whoa. Oh, hell to the nah. How? Wow. Did you see this? Did you know this? That's the inner standing. You're inside of it. You're exploring all of the parts of it. Now, when you finish exploring now, and it really, it's set in and you get it, then now you overstand.
Yes.
You're no longer under the spell. Okay? So you start from being under the spell, you explore the BS, belief systems, and once you've explored the BS, belief systems, now you have an overstanding of the belief systems and it cannot control you any longer because now you overstanding it. You're standing over the BS. You're standing over the BS, so it no longer has control over you.
Now, I do have to give a disclaimer for this because we just went into a whole thing about how the divine masculine has it all wrong, and they've been told a whole bunch of lies. This is not something that you go and run and tell your DM about.
Oh, don't do that.
Okay? If you want to ensure that your DM runs like hell from you, don't go out and just share this information.
Don't do that.
Because once again, okay, Leisha is the best example of what to do in this situation.
Oh God, you're gonna put me on a pedestal.
No, I'm not putting on a pedestal. I'm just saying, because this is what okay. So one of the things that I realized about myself, right, um, is that because I am a Pisces,
Mhm.
okay, when it comes to being free, like I really don't like anybody telling me what to do
That's a
or
fact.
giving me ideas. Like I want to be able to come up with the idea myself.
Facts.
And I had to really work on being flexible and understanding that sometimes the ideas can come from somebody else and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But in this particular situation for this revelation that I received, this was something that was initiated by me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't initiated by her.
Yeah.
It was initiated by me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with everything that's going on with these planets in retrograde and all of these things, this stuff is being brought up to your DMs.
Yeah.
It's being brought up to your other parts of the individual who you consider to be your twin flame.
Yeah.
You just got to let them go through and process this because this is some heavy stuff.
Yeah.
This is heavy like bricks that we giving to you right now. You can build houses with this right
Solid houses.
now.
Because
Okay.
with Pluto, Pluto is in retrograde, and with Pluto being the planet, that's the underworld, that's the
Hmm.
subconscious mind. With that being in retrograde, everybody is going to be going through some stuff, and if they say they're not going through some stuff, they're
They
lying.
lying. They
They are
lying.
so don't believe them. They are lying because Pluto is going to be in retrograde for months.
Yes.
So this is something that's going to affect everyone on this planet. They are going to be faced at some point with something that's buried that they've been tucking away that they don't want to deal with,
Hmm.
and it's going to come to surface. It's up to them if they want to deal with it or if they want to just continue to suppress it. But the
Yep.
more that you suppress it, you ever try to see if you can stop a water from leaking from a from a bottle that got a hole in it and all you got is your hand and you're trying to stop,
Right.
you're not going to get really far with that.
Yep.
You're just going to create a very messy situation.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. So yeah, don't worry about if your DM is not acknowledging or
yeah.
if your twin flame is not acknowledging the connection. Um, don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, from the information that was just shared, I really put the task to everybody to go through and watch those two videos that Seven Bomar did when it's talking about exploring the divine feminine.
Yes.
Definitely do some research into it. There's a lot of information that was given, and to be honest, this particular video it wasn't as deep as Seven Bomar goes into a lot of stuff. Maybe that's because of our journey and what
No,
we
he's been
done.
trying to. He's been.
He's been trying to bring it
He's been
down.
trying to bring it down because everybody is telling him how Seven, your videos is too long. We got stuff to do because some of his videos are like 4 hours. Some videos you can find 5 hours long with Seven because
Hmm.
when he start, you can't get him to stop. And so he's been trying to cut down on the time for his videos, and also he's been trying to not go so deep to the point where he loses people because he's trying to bring the information as mundane as he can to help people to really meet people where they're at, pretty much.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and to Jocelyn, I just posted the link to his video again. It should have been pinned to this video, but if you click on that link that I just dropped in the chat, you can actually go directly to his channel and
Yeah.
you'll be able to see the information that's on there. But definitely check out those last two videos. And when you see this, it's just I guess it was really just mind blowing because of the whole Masonic thing that I went through, and then just knowing how most boys are raised to be men.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh my gosh, it's just so much lies that's been told,
Lots of it.
and the emotions and the things um, that we feel in most cases, which are labeled to be a feminine thing, are actually a masculine thing, and it's it's so much that's just been flipped around.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of times going into solitude, going within yourself
Mm-hmm.
with nobody else around in order to find these answers.
And acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that one ingredient because if you don't have acceptance, you're gonna go no place, and you're gonna go very fast no place. You're not gonna get anywhere unless you have that authentic sense of acceptance within self when you discover things that you need to elevate, rise up. Okay,
Yeah.
so you gotta have that acceptance. You gotta be able to assess yourself and be like, "Damn, that Leisha, that was messed up. Well, why did you do that, Leisha?" Like, you gotta have these conversations with self. You have to be able to be honest with self, because if you're not honest with self, who are you gonna be honest with? Not nobody. That's who you're gonna be honest with, not a soul.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to hold yourself accountable. You have to be able to look at self in a loving way, of course, in a very loving way. You have to be able to tell yourself when you're not going in the direction that you need to be going into.
Yeah. Yeah. And just one little thing before we head out, I'm just gonna give this nugget to all of our twin flames. Okay. After you watch that video with Seven Bomar, you're going to understand the purpose of the twin flame and what the divine masculine is supposed to do. Okay? Because the number one goal for a divine masculine, his only goal is to wake the divine feminine up.
That's it, guys.
It's not to be in a loving relationship. It's not to be all cuddled together and going through all the 7 stages of twin flames. The only goal is to wake the divine feminine up.
Get up. The ship is sinking. This is what he's trying to tell you. Listen,
Okay.
Your house is on fire. Wake the hell up. Let's go.
Yeah.
And sometimes if it is your journey to be in a romantic relationship together, so be it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It will happen. Okay. It depends. What are you here to do in this lifetime? What are you doing?
Right.
So if your mission here in this particular lifetime, if the purpose of you being together serves that mission, then yes, you will be together in a romantic relationship. Wonderful. Okay. In some cases, you're not meant to be in a romantic relationship because it has nothing to do with your mission. It has nothing to do with what you're here to do in this particular lifetime. So you won't necessarily find yourself in a romantic relationship.
Yeah. But when it all is said and done and your whole soul journey is over, we're all connected right back to our divine twin flame.
Yeah.
We're all connected back to one. And actually, if you can get yourself to the point where you can get out of this 3D, 5D level, and you can actually ascend and get your consciousness past the 7th up to the 9th and 10th dimension, then you will be right there. Your twin flame gonna be right on your hip. So it is time to transcend this matrix.
Yeah.
It is time to transcend this illusion that has been given to us. Because inside of this illusion that was created, they don't want you to be with your twin flame. Because they understand that if you're with your twin flame, you're gonna break some shit and they're no longer in control.
They're gonna be like, put that shit back.
Oh gosh.
Didn't nobody tell you to pick it up, put it back. You touching stuff.
I don't know how much battery life I got left.
We got enough battery life. We got enough battery life.
But yeah, we just gonna say this. I just gotta say this to get this out here before the phone dies.
Yeah.
But okay, this matrix, the way that it is designed, it is not designed for you to be happy. It is not designed for you to experience love. They want you to experience fear,
misery. Okay.
And these programs run very, very, very deep.
Very genetic deep, like really, really deep.
Yes. So it is time to transcend out of this matrix.
Yes.
Transcend out of this illusion.
Yes. Wake up, divine feminine. Wake up. It's time to wake up, sleeping beauty. Arise from your slumber, sleeping beauty. Wake up. Let's go.
When you wake up,
open your eyes.
When you wake up, I will promise you this. I've never said this, and I hope you can back me up on this, because just knowing what we know thus far, when you wake up the divine feminine, the person who's waking up the divine feminine is your divine masculine.
Boom.
So when you wake up, you will be united with your twin flame.
Go on and just wake up, baby girl. Wake up.
Get out of this matrix.
Lazarus.
It's time to rise up.
Lazarus awake. Get up. Wake up. It is time to wake up. I'm sorry if we're preventing you from licking your ice cream in your dream.
We're so sorry, but
we're so sorry.
It's time to wake up. The ship is sinking.
Get up.
The house is on fire.
Let's go.
Wake the hell up.
Wake up. Wake up to what this thing really is.
And just understand, this is coming from love. This is not. This is coming from pure unconditional love.
We want you to wake up.
And we got to get out of it because this phone about to die. And I hate to lose this. So we love y'all. We're going to be back on tomorrow.
Every day we're going to be on here with a message. Okay, because we about to meditate. We buy these trees.
And it's still a full moon
And it's still a full moon. So we going to bring these messages, guys.
All right. So we love y'all.
We love you guys.
Peace out.
Peace out.